Live performances can be nerve-wracking, even for experienced musicians. The pressure to perform perfectly in front of an audience can cause anxiety and impact your playing. The good news is that you can practice handling this pressure before you even step on stage by stimulating performance conditions and adding elements of pressure during your practice. You can build confidence, stay calm, and perform your best when it matters most. Here are some tips to help you practice performing under pressure and turn those nerves into your greatest asset. Stick around. Tip number 1, prepare thoroughly. Confidence starts long before you step on stage. Rehearse your set until it feels like second nature. I learned a valuable lesson when learning a difficult song from a guy called Adam Rafferty. I never forgot it, and it made perfect sense in quantifying how to know when you're ready for performing a piece live. Adam Rafferty's concept of the 4 stages of practice is a detailed approach to mastering musical skills and developing a deep understanding of technique and musicality. I implore you to learn these 4 phrases, right? Unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, conscious competence, and unconscious competence. It'll make sense when I go through them. Unconscious incompetence. Okay, this is the first step. The player is typically a beginner or someone who's just started practicing a piece of music. The focus is developing a basic understanding of the song or technique involved. This is the stage of discovery and curiosity, where players are learning the ropes but aren't yet concerned with advanced musicality. The player may be aware of inefficiencies or challenges in their playing, and mistakes are frequent, but it's part of the learning process. The advice for this stage is to focus on fundamentals like note reading, finger placement, and correct percussion and rhythm, and be patient with mistakes as they are part of the learning stage. In the second stage, conscious incompetence, the player has developed some basic proficiency and can play through most parts of the piece with relative ease. However, they still may struggle with more intricate details or advanced techniques. The focus shifts towards improving accuracy, speed, and fluidity. The player may begin to notice areas where they are less competent, which can be frustrating, but the advice for this stage is to isolate tricky sections, to refine them, and to work on precision and consistency, and to be patient, as improvement can feel slow, but it's crucial for building confidence. In the third stage, conscious competence, the player has the technical aspects under control and can play the piece with ease. The focus shifts from getting the notes right to playing them with nuance and creativity. The player starts incorporating personal style, adding improvisations or variations, and the focus is on connecting with the music emotionally, not just the execution of technical elements. The advice for this stage is to experiment with dynamics, phrasing, and timing to bring personal expression into the music and try to perform it as if it were a live performance. Okay, the final stage is unconscious competence. The player transcends technicals and musical mastery and begins to communicate deeply through the instrument. The music flows naturally with full expression and emotional depth. The player's interpretation becomes more individualized and unique. The focus is on balancing technical control with musical spontaneity. The advice for this stage is to focus on self-expression and continue to refine and challenge your skills, even as a master. Regular performance, whether in practice or in front of others, helps continue developing artistry. These stages are not necessarily linear and can overlap, with musicians returning to earlier stages as they learn new techniques or styles. It's a continuous cycle of growth, helping players deepen their connection to music and refine their playing from technical proficiency to full artistic expression. If you're finding this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more tips and insights on becoming a successful musician. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Number 2, starting with an easy song. Choosing the right opener can set the tone for your entire performance. A song you can play effortlessly helps you ease into the set, giving you a chance to adjust to the stage and the audience, and your own nerves. Avoid anything over technical or high risk for mistakes. Starting strong builds confidence for the rest of your set. If you have a song that you can play in your sleep, that's the perfect opener. Also consider your vocals. Choose a song that's not too demanding with high notes. Ease your vocals into it. Tip number 3, breathe and slow down. This tip seems obvious, but you still have to be conscious of it before you start or when you feel anxiety kick in. When nerves hit, they trigger a fight or flight response, which can make your breathing shallow and speed up your playing or singing. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, and exhale for 4. This technique calms your nervous system and helps prevent that rushed feeling. Also, during your performance, be mindful of your tempo. Many musicians unknowingly speed up when they feel anxious. If you feel yourself rushing, take a deep breath between phrases or verses to reset your pace. Tip number 4, manage your inner critic. This one is a tough one for me. Nerves often stem themselves from self-doubt. Your brain might say, what if I forget the lyrics? What if they don't like me? Instead of entertaining these thoughts, challenge them. I've practiced, I've done this before, I belong on this stage. Shift your mindset from worrying about impressing people to simply sharing your music. A slight mistake won't ruin the performance. What matters most is your energy and confidence. Accept that nerves are normal. Even the most seasoned performers get nervous. The key is to understand that nerves aren't a sign of failure, they're a sign that you care. Instead of fighting them, acknowledge them and focus on the excitement of performing. Over time, you'll learn how to work with your nerves rather than against them. Many musicians find that after the first song, the nerves naturally fade away and they become immersed in the performance. Also, once you've had a little banter with the audience, subliminally letting them know that you are comfortable, even if you're not, the room will feel more comfortable, making you feel more comfortable. Use positive self-talk. Sounds a bit wanky, right? But it's just self-affirmation. What you tell yourself before a performance or before a tricky piece really affects your mindset. If you keep thinking, I'm going to mess up, your brain will always look for ways to prove that true. Instead, repeat encouraging statements like, I've prepared for this, I enjoy performing, and I'm going to have fun. If you wouldn't say something to a friend before their performance, don't say it to yourself. You can even write down a list of positive affirmations to read before a gig. But more importantly, don't let that little devil on your shoulder win. Practicing the 4 stages of learning will destroy that little devil every time. Focus on the music, not the mistakes. This can be tough to get past, but the audience isn't analysing every note you play. It's not under a microscope like you think it is. Just look around. Have a look at the people. No one really gives a shit, okay? No one really does. If you really look at the audience, who's really paying attention? This is probably not a great way to think if you're doing, big gigs on TV or anything like that. But we're talking about grassroots stuff, so it's okay to look around and go, okay, well, no one really gives a shit, okay? Who really cares? Now, that's not an excuse to be average at your craft, but it can help you calm your nerves when you look at an audience, even if it's a big audience. Look around. Maybe there's a handful of people looking at you, but really people are involved in their own lives. You're not as important as you think you are in your mind. Now, that's not a diss. It's just reality at this level. So they're not analysing every note you play. They're there to enjoy the music, the company. If you make a mistake, don't dwell on it. Most people won't even notice it unless you react to it. Keep going and stay engaged, and remember that a good performance is about the overall performance, not perfection. If you hit a wrong note or forget a lyric, just keep moving forward. Even professionals make mistakes, but what sets great performers apart is their ability to recover gracefully. If you make a mistake, when you make a mistake, the key is to shift your mindset quickly and focus on staying in the moment. Instead of dwelling on the mistake, try to reframe your thinking by reminding yourself that mistakes are a normal part of live performances. In these moments, it's helpful to adopt the mindset of a confident performer who's in control, even if things aren't going perfectly. The quicker you can get past this in your head, the better. Make a mental note of the mistake and put it in the practice bag for when you get home. Practice performing under pressure. Practicing performing under pressure is a crucial part of live performances. It's about simulating the pressure you might feel on stage so you can get better equipped to handle nerves, distractions, or mistakes when they arise during a real performance. One effective way to practice performing under pressure is to rehearse in environments that mimic live settings. For example, try to play in front of a small group of friends or family, even record yourself performing. That puts pressure on you. This adds a level of accountability and pressure that is different from practicing alone. The goal is to become more comfortable with the feeling of being watched and evaluated while performing, which can help reduce anxiety during live performances. Another great method is to deliberately add distractions during practice. For instance, practicing a song while someone is talking to you or while the TV is on in the background. This helps train your ability to maintain focus in less than ideal conditions, much like you would face on stage with background noise and distractions. Over time, these distractions will become less disruptive, allowing you to maintain concentration and control during your live performances. It's also helpful to simulate high-pressure situations by setting specific goals or challenges during practice. For example, you might practice playing a difficult section of a song under a time constraint or with a specific focus, such as playing perfectly at a higher tempo. I'll often add pressure on myself by committing to play a difficult part of a song or a full song 10 times in a row without making a single mistake. Once it gets up to 7, 8, 9, it builds pressure in your mind, simulating a live experience. This kind of focused, goal-orientated practice helps you build resilience and adaptability when things don't go as planned during a performance. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope these tips help you handle mistakes and help you perform with confidence next time you're on stage. If you have any questions or you want to share your own experiences, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe for more content on helping you level up your music career. Keep practicing, stay confident. I'll see you in the next one.